Hi YouTubers, I've just spent this afternoon playing with a new toy I got myself yesterday in fact. This is the Diana 240 and I decided just to do a quick video review really because I haven't been able to come across any decent ones on the net as of late. So I thought, well, if no one else is doing one, I may as well do my own. First of all, this is a break barrel spring piston rifle. It's what Diana call a youth rifle, so it's made for beginners. It's made to learn the craft of shooting, and I think it's important even if you are an experienced shooter, although I'm certainly not an expert. I'm someone who enjoys air gunning and lots of different types of shooting as well, and I think with the expensive £700 PCPs and other stuff aside, I think it's important to have something that's basic, that's reasonably inexpensive, and that's just fun, that you can return to. And for me, this rifle is perfectly suited to back garden plinking, and I think that is due at least in part to the fact it is a 6 foot-pound rifle, so it's powerful enough for plinking cans at 10 yards or so, but not too powerful. So in other words, you can safely use it at say 10 yards, 15 yards in a quite a built-up area like the area that I live in, relatively safely. Of course, like any other air gun, you should still have some sort of a safe backstop. First of all, the overall length of this gun is about 40 inches from tip to toe. It has a straight style buttstock. It has a very simple hardwood stock, and that was one thing that drew me to this gun, was the fact it looked quite simple. It's got very clean lines, it's a bit Germanic looking arguably, and it also has a 11mm dovetail groove as you'd expect, the obligatory open sights. Now, like a lot of Diana air guns, the sights on these are great quality. They're click adjustable. I'm not sure what measurement they use, whether it's 1 minute of angle or whatever, but either way they work really well. They've got fibre optic inserts, and the front sight is a very simple hooded fibre optic post, and overall it was quite accurate for me in that configuration. Again, in its role of a simple back garden plinker, I don't think I'll be mounting any optics on it. Maybe if I'm shooting without glasses or something, I might mount a red dot up top, but either way, I think it's important to have at least one gun out there with open sights fitted, because I think it's an important craft to keep handy in. And overall, I just think it's great fun as well without relying on optics all the time. It has the automatic safety at the base, which engages every time you cock the gun. Overall, I'm not a fan of automatic safeties. I think they're a bit annoying, but most sporting air rifles have them, and this one isn't too intrusive. In fact, I was finding myself just instinctively switching that catch off, and then thinking to myself, hang on, did I take the safety off? Did I not take the safety off? So the fact it's so unintrusive that I was doing that function without even knowing it, in my mind is a good thing. It has the new TO5, I believe, metal trigger, and the nice thing about this is, and it's a really good feature in what is basically a kid's rifle, a junior rifle, is the fact it's adjustable for length of pull. So it's a it's a two-stage trigger, and you can adjust the positioning of the first stage so you can have a longer or a shorter first stage, and I think quite sensibly they've set the final pull of the trigger to, I wouldn't say a heavyweight as such, but it certainly isn't a hair trigger. It's still reasonably heavy, but again, I think that's a good thing in a rifle of this kind. The butt pad is plastic. It's got like a checkering to it, and one thing I do want to point out is that the build quality on this rifle is absolutely great. It has a hardwood stock, the grain is quite nice, it's sort of a satin varnish, and overall it's really well finished. I mean, the metalwork is immaculate, really impeccable, the woodwork is well varnished, and if you look at the butt pad as well, there's no seam whatsoever. You can just run your finger across that and you can't feel anything at all. So the wood to metal fit and the general manufacturing of this gun is absolutely flawless. As far as accuracy goes, again, I was only using it at 10 meters, 15 meters at a stretch, and even in my reasonably unskilled hands, I was able to get what was approaching 1-hole groups at 15 yards. And again, if someone who's more skilled than myself was to grab hold of this, I'm sure it'd be a really capable and really accurate gun. So I'm not going to go on forever about the fundamentals and chronographing and everything else. I'm sure someone could, but just as a basic user's review, my opinion is buy one.